Greetings, YouTube. This is the Garage Autonomist. I took down that last live video to announce to you guys that my Hangout over at Elmciti has been rescheduled for next Thursday. Uh, there was some scheduling conflicts, and besides that, I had some things on my end too uh, that was greatly, relieved a little bit because we made this change. But looking at the fact that you guys liked dropping by last night while I made that video, I figured that I'd do a quick live stream right now, probably for the next 30 or 40 minutes, depending on the activity, if I get any activity in the chat room. So we'll just go ahead I just wanted to go ahead and talk about this one thing. I'm going to expound a little bit more about what I hit on last night regarding the subject of talking to people on the other side, or rather, reactionaries who stand against oppressed people who want to be free. Now, in other words, the right wing, conservatives, anti feminists, white supremacists, global warming deniers, Holocaust deniers, transphobes, homophobes, haters of kittens, and overall sociopaths, and those who need to be whacked. See, there is such a thing as people who have been conditioned to be a certain way, and who are ignorant of the struggle of others, and they have only been around their own fucked up environment. But by some chance they might meet others who don't share their experience, they could in fact learn to understand those people's struggles. And in doing so, they could unlearn, or rather unpack, their racism or their homophobia or their sexism, or whatever, or what have you. But I do believe that there is a huge difference between that type of person and one who constantly rails and attacks others, other marginalized folks and the oppressed. The way I see it, you are an ideologue of reaction if you can't get yourself or unlearn the way that you've been conditioned. You are usually versed in a position that you clearly embrace, and unless you yourself pull yourself out of that type of thinking, there is no talking to you. Now, I think about Frank Mink. I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Frank Mink was a former neo-Nazi. You may have heard of him because basically what he does, he goes around and he does these talking tours against white supremacy. The movie American History X was loosely based on his life experiences. And Frank Mink, he grew up in violence. I guess like really kind of like the way some people of color have. They kind of look around the environment that they're in, and they try to make sense of it by embracing some kind of ideology. But of course, the difference there is Frank Mink embraced Nazism. What Frank did though was that he wound up in prison, and he met black people and other ethnicities, and he had come to realize that all that he had believed in was not justified and it was not right. Well, when he was released, he knew that he was never going to go back to white supremacy. So the difference is that here is that he learned from his learned experience that changed his point of view. I'm sure that when Frank was deep in the ideology that he was in at the time, you couldn't tell him shit, and quite frankly, there would have been no point to talk to him. So yeah, while there is room for people to evolve from their learned prejudices, it's they who have to make that first step to evolve. No one else can help them do it. And that is why I'm resolved to say either you can stay the way you are or you can change, but no amount of reaching across the aisle can or will help you. And I wouldn't waste my time doing so, and debating with you so we could be tonight's entertainment or in hopes to get views or for one of us to make money. It's just wasted energy and it's bullshit. So, in saying all of that, going back to Lacey Green, which is one of the things that I talked about in that video last night, in that live stream last night, was that again I have to say that she can do what she wants, no skin off my nose, but I'm not going to take what she is doing seriously, and can't take her seriously. I will say that I don't take the position. I'm sorry. I don't take the position that she's doing this because of who she's dating. Supposedly, she's seeing another YouTuber who's an anti-feminist, and people are saying that that's why she wants to talk to the other side. I do think that that's sexist to say that because it implies that she doesn't have her own mind. I think that she is full well aware of what she's doing, and she's doing what she wants to do. Again, good luck to her, but fuck those people if she wants to talk to. Some of them have shown their racist faces regarding the Black Lives Matter movement and police brutality, and I certainly don't talk to apologists for state violence against black people and people of color. So if she sympathizes for people like that, I have to really doubt her as an ally of any kind. Now, I saw a hangout earlier in the day. It was Christy Winters and a couple of other people. Oh, okay, I've got people in the chat room. Real Game Radio. Why are you here? What did you say? I killed all credibility that I had with the stream. How? You said Elmciti is a toxic sick stalker, and you have. I'm finished with who, LA? You? You have no credibility at all, especially in the sector that I'm in. So, who cares what you think? There ain't a damn thing wrong with Elmciti. Whatever she's doing to you, hell, I give her credit for what she's doing to you. Anyway, let's see here. Mazabe. She says, "Oh, where's the hangout?" The hangout was rescheduled, Mazabe. I hope Mabase. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. We're gonna redo this. We're gonna do the. Oh fuck! Shut up, LA. We're gonna do the hangout next Thursday. Mabase says she's no one's ally. Are you talking about Lacey Green? That's interesting. Yeah, all right. Got you. Mabase. Got you. Mabase. Now, Mabase, speaking of LA has zero cred, you live off your woman. Yeah, exactly. Okay, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm going to say this one thing and then I'm going to go right back to the chat. I saw a hangout earlier today with Christy Winters and a bunch of other dudes, and they were talking about the whole notion of reaching across the aisle. Now, out of all of them, Steve Shives said one thing that I 100% agree with them on, and he was like, fuck it. I've seen these people in action. I've seen what the other side does. What they do to people. They dox people. They've said all kinds of things about him, and they've gone after his family, things like this. So, and I've seen that one video where they passed it around, but amongst each other, where Steve basically had his wife in a video, and all they were doing was just talking about general things, and his wife was basically expressing an opinion that she had, and these people were then saying that, he was a cuck, and he was, he wasn't wearing the pants in the house, and all of the kinds of nonsense, and it was the most dumbest thing in the world. So I agree with Steve Shives on that. These people are stupid, and there is no reaching across the aisle to them. Now, Mabase, you mentioned, I think on, I believe it was, you mentioned uh, that you had had a live debate with BGS Ibmore, right? I don't know when you did that. If I can find that, I would like to hear it. But see, that's a good example of what I'm talking about. Like, he's somebody you can't debate with because there's no point. He's definitely an ideologue in terms of patriarchy, and what there's no way you can change someone like him, like his mind. You can't change his mind with actual facts. He likes to pretend like he wants to make up this pretend world that he lives in where there's a gynocentry, when there's what he calls it, a gynocracy, and there is no gynocracy. There, there just there is no female president. There's no female Congress. There's no female Senate. There's none of that nonsense. Mabasi says he just spouts stereotypes around gender. Exactly. That whole thing that he does, women feel their way through the world, men think their way. It's bullshit. Strange Fruit says the gynocracy. What the fuck is that? Exactly. It's a made up world. Strange Fruit that BGS Ibmore and a lot of these men of the Kunosphere, as I call them, they have made up in their minds that somehow you women have created a revolution where you took over the world. Y'all got rid of the glass ceiling, you got rid of the pay gap, you have free, accessible uh, birth control, and somehow a gynocracy was established. That's the pretend world that he lives in. So that's what a gynocracy is. Mabase says the only thing that he's right on is the coming innovation that will eliminate a lot of jobs. Well, Mabase, you are correct about that, but they've been talking about automation for 4 decades now, probably even more than that. And the thing about automation, being that I am an actual technologist and I'm actually in the IT field, I mean, first of all, it takes 20 people to get one program to do one task, a quarter of its task. We've got a long way to go before we actually get to a massive level of automation. Okay? What corporations or what capitalism has done, however, is that they've optimized profit by using by using labor outside of the United States. So all of this nonsense. Hold on, I just got to take care of one troll because I'm going to do to him what he does to me and what he's done to me and what he's done to others. Block. So, sorry, LA, but you've proven yourself many, many times to act just like, uh, everyone else that you say likes to flag you. You flag people, I know that for a fact, and you've certainly blocked people out of your chat, so I'm doing the same thing to you. Sorry, lad, I gave you enough time. Anyway, going back to everyone else here with some sense. Yeah, automation, we're a long way from that. A long, long way from automation. So yes, he's right about that, but that's not the only thing that's happening right now in terms of what the ruling class has planned for people. There's a million other things that they've got planned. If when they take away the so-called social nets, and they're not real nets, like welfare or whatever, and you're going to start to have this huge surplus of unemployed workers, the next thing that they will do that's far more realistic is to imprison people. What's up, MJ? Yes, you are right. LA blocks everybody. He has a huge reputation for that nonsense. Although I haven't paid attention to the roast sector in almost 8 months. but he does have that reputation. So I gave him I gave him enough time to act a fool. Anyway, what Mabase says, I will say yes that the IT field, it's going to be a long time before one of us has no job. You're correct. You are correct, Mabase. Strange Fruit says war. I guess Strange Fruit is saying that war would be the next thing to also use to deal with surplus what's with surplus people who aren't working, and you are correct. I think the trucking industry will be automated in 10 years. That's interesting that you brought that up. I was looking at, I went on ahead and checked out the movie Logan this past weekend. I actually wanted to see that. Yeah, I'm gonna ask you a question in a minute, Jenny. Hold on. I just saw the movie Logan, and I saw that scene where they had all those robotic trucks on the freeway. And so I have to agree with you, Strange Fruit, that I do think that's the closest thing to being automated. I do believe that that's true. Now, to answer Jenny's question, I said it a little bit earlier, Jenny, but that's okay. A lot of people are just now coming in. I think that it's sexist that people are saying that the reason why Lacey Green is doing what she's doing is because she's with Chris Raygun. I know that you said that, and I agree with you. Um, I think she's full well aware in her own mind about what she's doing with this reaching across the aisle stuff. That's her. That's what she wants to do, and I think that this whole thing about she's doing this because of her boyfriend and or that he's somehow influencing her is nonsense. It's sexist nonsense. What's up, Big J? How you doing? MJ Ball the Hardest says they need IT professionals to create the software, the hardware, and to produce all these automated job solutions. Exactly, MJ. And I can guarantee you again as an IT professional myself, I wouldn't even say it would be you'd see full automation in most jobs right now. I wouldn't even give it 20 years. I would give it at least 30 tops 40. It's just going to take a long time before it gets to that point. So, I just feel that either way, and just to catch up on everything that we're talking about, why do TERFs like you so much? TERFs like Garage because he's smart as fuck. Oh, man. Mabase, do you think that, so you agree with the term of TERFs? Because I don't agree with that term, but why do strange fruit? But you will be competing against IT abroad too. Salaries will be a race to the bottom also in 10 to 20 years. I agree. Thank you, Jenny, for that compliment. But anyway, I think, seriously, to answer Mabase's question about why to answer your question about why you think quote unquote turfs like me so much is because I do take the position. I do take the position that not only that men can't be feminists, but I do take the position that what was it again? I can't believe I'm forgetting because that was a huge fight. I did have a lot of people who were pissed off at me. It was the video that I did about how cis men who called themselves feminists were quick to ally themselves against female feminists who have an issue with having to share the bathroom with trans women. And I said that it's funny to me how the men are so quick to ally themselves against female feminists on this issue when really they shouldn't even be in the fucking argument to begin with. Wait, Strange Fruit says a turf is down with Bwigtau. No, I'm not down with the Bwigtau movement. I don't know why people. That's another thing. That's another thing. People think that I'm down with them because I don't attack them. Anyway, Jenny says it's that trans women specifically are trying to be the loudest voices in feminism. Yeah, that's another thing that I have a problem with. Um, I can't say they can or cannot be feminists, but I do know that they don't really have any right to co-opt the movement. Just like I don't believe that men should be trying to co-opt the feminist movement at all. I believe that that men and that trans women should be allies can be allies to feminism, but they can't be co-opting feminism. All right. So Strange Fruit says, okay, yeah. Just well, Jenny Kiss is a very well-known feminist YouTuber, and who else is in here that you may not know? MJ Ball, the hardest. He's from the roast sector, and I think from the black political sector too. I've seen him commenting here and there. LA is from the roast sector. I'm not even going to say he's from the black political sector because he's not at all. Let me just change the title of this little hangout that I'm doing here. It's not a hangout really. It's just my live stream. Okay, so anyway, going back to what I was saying. Um, so reaching across the aisle, I think, in having debates with enemies in oh, it just got canceled because of just schedule conflicts we were having. Elm City could was only able to do tonight at a later time, and I couldn't do later at all. She kind of wanted to do it around midnight, and that's a little bit too late for me. Originally, we had set it for 10, but now next Thursday, I'm actually going to do it super early with her, and that's going to be like around 8 o'clock. So that's going to be next Thursday. Strange Fruit says, I am not down with trans, but that's me. I think it's a mental disorder, which I don't agree with, but I am not for discriminating or making anyone's life harder. That that is their journey. All right, well, that's, fair enough. Almost every woman I've met who is anti-trans tends to be very not interested in specific, wait, in not to be interested in the issues specific to women of color. Strange being a slave that ran from slavery, that was a mental disorder too. Interesting. I like issues of women. I like issues of women of color. I like trans issues too. I just think feminism should focus on women, which yeah, I agree with that. Okay, so anyway, but I hope that I answered that question about the Lacey Green thing and her seeing Chris Ray Gun. I don't think that he I agree that I agree that it's sexist to assume that she's making this change because of her boyfriend. It's like the dumbest argument I've ever heard, and I'm really surprised to hear that so many people who are saying that they're male feminists or feminist allies are saying that. It's bullshit. Did you see BFG? Who is BF? Am I missing? Jenny, who's BFG? Trying to think. No, I don't know who BFG is. Women of color issues are feminist issues, ain't they? Women. Yes, they are. Of course, they are. I think what she was really trying to say is that. Well, I'll let Jenny speak for herself, but I believe that what Jenny was trying to say was that Big Friendly Giant, is that a movie? I think that's a movie. Um, But I think what Jenny was saying was that she just feels that the feminist movement should be with women or for women or I think that's what she was trying to say. Yes, right. No, I haven't seen it yet. I'll look that up. Big Friendly Giant. I think I've heard the term, the title. I thought it was a book, but yeah, I'll check it out when I can, and I'll check it out. So anyway, I'm just jumping all over the place here. So anyway, that's all I had to say about that. I'm not. Again, I think I was very clear about the whole like debating with these people. Strange Fruit says, I love your Hangouts, GA. People who can talk without insulting each other with varied views. That's cool. Yeah. Feminism should be for women, not men who identify as women. And Jenny says, it was, oh, yeah, it's a Roald Dahl, okay, book. Yeah. I was wondering why the title sound familiar, but I just didn't know if it was a movie or not. But if it's a movie, I'm going to check that out. Because I love, I never could pronounce his name right, Roald Dahl's work. What's up, Bewildered Ape? If anybody gets a chance, I'm going to throw in the link at the end of this stream to Bewildered Ape's channel and to his latest video, which is ridiculously good. The level of production that he's doing now has gone like 10 times ahead of what he used to do. I don't even know what he's doing, what he's doing to do that. I only found out recently that I think Adobe Premiere does that face animation thing. But anyway, I really like that last video that Bewildered Ape did. Mabase says, how can you be for women if you're not for women of color issues? But she is for women of color issues. Mabase. I think that what she was trying to say was that feminism should be for women, i.e. that would cover women issues. Bewildered says that he uses Crazy Talk software. Now, Bewildered Ape, is that a plugin for Premiere, though? I thought it was a plugin for some larger program. Crazy Talk. I saw somebody use it, or I think I saw someone. They were doing a demoing of fruit or something like a banana, and it looked really freaky. All right. Yeah, this is a really good conversation. I mean, I like the fact that people are coming here, and even though with various viewpoints, they're all like civil and the shit's not going out of control. Strange Root says that I think it's an open source plugin. It's a separate program for animated characters. I use Premiere to edit. Got you. Okay. And Strange Fruit says something that's right up my alley. He or she, I'm not sure. I think that it's an open source plugin. Okay. I'm going to check it out, but I kind of, I would like to, I don't think that I have the time to really sit down and work it. Garage, have you ever thought about gaming on your channel? Oh, have you ever thought about gaming on my channel? You mean talking about gaming? Or you mean like actually playing games but broadcasting it from the channel? I am not a huge gamer. I think that in the first hangout that I did with Elmciti, I was actually dating myself or playing. Got you. So the thing is, when I did my first hangout with Elmciti, we were talking just about gaming at one point because, she's a gamer and I wanted to get into that whole thing about women gamers, right? Women being in gaming and how that, stereotypically people are saying, oh, women don't game, stuff like that, don't play games. But anyway, when I was telling her, like, one of the things that I loved about her channel was that when she's basically roasting people or she's talking about political issues and stuff like that, she's playing video games. And Jenny, I swear to you, I was telling her the same thing. There's no way I can play a video game but talk about anything else. I can't even talk about what I had for dinner at the same time if I'm trying to play a video game. I'm slow like that. Like mentally, that's when I'm slow. I can't do gaming and then do so. I mean, I've seen regular gaming channels where people are talking about whatever. They might even be talking about the game itself, but they're trying to play at the same time. I can't do that. I don't see how anyone can do that. It's just amazing to me. You would have to be a genius if you could do that, because I can't do that shit. There's no way I can sit here and talk about Malcolm X, for instance, or talk about intersectional feminism and play a video game. No way, that's not gonna happen. Also, I'm more into like the I'm a very like one or two game type of person. Like there's one game that I will play and I'll fixate on it and just play it all the time. And I was telling Elmciti this again on my first interview with her, was that the one game that I like to play is Dawn of War. And even then, I only play the first game, like Dawn of War, like Warhammer for 40,000. I can't play. I cannot play other games. Like I don't know what it is. I get stuck on one kind of game. I play that game until the wheels falls off, and then that's it. I don't want to learn anything else. It's hard for me to try to learn anything else. Elmciti Sub-GA, God of War is my favorite game of all time. See, I haven't played God of War. I played Dawn of War. But because, like I said, it basically is like, it looks like you're playing, and I think the game was based on a war strategy board game. But it's, then they made it into a video game, and what happened was my godson, or rather my godson-in-law, showed me how to play it. Now that was way back in like 2008. Yeah, that was like 2008 when he showed me the game, and I know that Dawn of War was old as shit even by that time. But I love that game. I can play it over and over again. And before then, and this is where I'm going to date myself, before then, I swear to you, the only game I played before then was Bungie's Marathon, and that was back when I used to be on a Mac. All right, so back to the chat room here. Elmciti says she's going to be streaming soon. Yeah, by the time Elmciti starts to stream, that's when I'm going to be shutting down, because by rule, I've got to be in bed by 11:30. Elmciti says, please play Devil May Cry and stop playing trash. Okay. Elmciti says, thanks, Jenny, but this isn't my gaming channel. I'll comment my gaming channel. Okay. Mabasi says, damn. Jenny says, okay, cool. That's hella old. Bungie's Marathon. Yeah, Bungie's Marathon. That was the only game I was playing before I started playing Dawn of War. And even then, I had stopped playing Marathon. What was it, like 15 years, back in the day? I was back in the day. I was playing Marathon like back in the 90s. The mid to late 90s. I was still what you call a Mac evangelist back then. All right. Okay, cool. So that's the link to. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna throw the link to Elmciti's gaming channel when I'm done here as well. So yeah, I'll put Bewildered's Ape channel, the link to his newest video, and I'm gonna put a link to Elmciti's gaming channel in the bottom of this. So this is good, guys. I'm gonna stay on, but I'm gonna stay on until about 11:30, and then after that, I need to hit the coffin. But one thing I want to talk about here is what I've got planned on my live stream. I'm gonna try to go back to doing live streams on Tuesday nights, and the next thing that I've got planned is I want to talk to uh, have on the founder of the Black Women's Defense League, and then I definitely have to have New Possibilities on, like I said I would. So New Possibilities will be on this channel in a live stream, probably in a couple of Tuesdays, and then when I'm able to hammer out the details, I'm gonna have the Black Women's Defense League on. Bewildered Ape says, FYI, the new video is regular format now. I'm publishing a part every Wednesday. Yes, he's gonna make that into a series. It's called The Misadventures of Bewildered Ape, so y'all gotta check it out. It's man, that video was fucking amazing. I'm serious, and I love what it was saying. So anyway, y'all gotta check it out. And I just, again, I want to like appreciate everybody who's here, and obviously people have been wanting me to do this because I've never gotten at least this many people. It's 8 people watching. I don't give a shit. I'm happy that you guys like that I'm doing these live streams. So I guess the other channel that I was doing, the other live stream channel I was kind of doing because I couldn't stream, and it was because I was flagged at the time. So, I was kind of doing that there, but I just really wasn't happy with that channel. And this is obviously where I need to start doing streams and stuff. And yes, I love you too, Jenny. Your channel is like really hitting out some hard stuff, and that's one of the reasons why. Oh, Umar, what's up, man? How you doing? I am going to answer you. I'm not ignoring that conversation that we had. It was a very good one. And but I decided I want to make that into a video with my response to you. And in case anybody wants to know, there's a conversation that Umar and I had on. Umar, you're going to have to remind me which video it was. I'll put the link in the low bar because I can't remember which one it was. Regarding interracial relationships. So it's not the video I want you to watch. It's it's the comment thread that he and I had. So, but I'm gonna make a video for it. I see Van. Umar, is that your version of I si vive? I can't remind you. I comment a lot. Yeah, I got it. Don't worry. I'm gonna go through my community link. I'll see it there, and then I'll just post the link there so people can check out that thread that of that conversation you and I had. So Strange Fruit would said, I would like to see that. Yeah, definitely. It's just my version of typing badly. Confive. Me and the wife and I have been. We had like a whole week long last week of saying confive and replacing it with stuff. Can you hand me that confive so I can cut the garlic? Did you wake the confive up this morning? Like we were just doing that like all week. Now you all, some people really feel like this guy is gonna go to jail. I don't think he's gonna go to jail, even after today. I mean, what did you guys think about that? About the not deposition. What's the word I want to look for? It's the hearing of the former director. Like, what did you guys think about that? It's funny because the Republicans, that what guy? Oh, well, when I said by that what guy, Umar, I meant Trump. I still don't believe that anything's going to happen to him. But we'll see. But no, after the day, the director, yeah, Strange Fruit, exactly. He's not going to jail. But I think that it's funny how the Republicans are playing this off Trump's lawyer in particular, he's saying that no, this was a good thing. The director is proving Trump's innocence, but everyone else is saying, especially the liberals, particular, or the Democrats particularly, are saying, "Oh, this was damning. This was all damning evidence." Yes, Comey's hearing, strange fruit. Bewildered Ape says that Trump won't be jailed. I agree with him. Umar says a farce rap in a comedy leading to tragedy. Mabase says he might get out, but he's too rich and white to go to jail. So in other words, you believe now that I think is a little bit more realistic. Mabase is basically saying that Trump would probably be kicked out of office. But he's too rich and white to go to jail. I don't really think he'll go to jail either. But again, I'm still not completely ready to be convinced that he can be impeached, but there's a possibility. Umar says we can impeach Trump. He's an idiot. Pence is a supervillain on Heisenberg meth level. Yeah. Trump was a lifelong Democrat and friend of Bill Clinton. Guess who asked him to run for office on the Republican ticket? Huh. Well, we'll see about that. I do know that I love showing that picture. Whenever I talk about Trump, when I do a video about Trump, I love to show that picture of him, his wife, and the Clintons, because I think that picture is perfect, explaining the kind of society that we're living under. It's in terms of the ruling class. Bewildered Ape says the oligarchs would not want to set the precedent of jailing one of their own. Exactly. Hell, we will see a straight up revolution in the streets before that would happen. Let's see here. Oh, you're right. That's Elmciti says we got to figure out a topic. Yeah, Elmciti. You know what? Now that we bought ourselves a little bit extra time, I'll email you and we'll talk about Thursday and what we'll talk about on Thursday. Strange Fruit says yes, BA. The ruling class do not go to jail. Exactly. Our politicians are all buddies. Yep. See, that's what everyone gets wrong. The people are the ruling class. They just don't rule. Exactly, Umar. Exactly. First 100. Hey, Garage. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Wow, you guys are like really lively tonight. Yeah, this is... Hold on for a minute. Okay, I don't know about you guys. How many of you are like actually on the East Coast? But right now, and I know that I'm starting to get into how's the weather we're having, but goddamn, this is the coldest June I've ever experienced in my life. In New York City, it's literally like feeling like, we're getting like high 50s and shit. This is... Umar says, once upon a time, the French aristocracy thought that they were the ruling class until the people showed them different. Exactly. We finally have to get to that level, Umar. You're right. Brooklyn, New York, and this June sucks. Exactly. Exactly. Umar knows. I know he's up here. Strange Fruit says, I am in Asia. Really? That's interesting. And it's hot as fuck. Well, yeah, it's as it should be in June, right? Jenny Kiss, I want to go to New York. You will definitely have a place to sleep over. That's no problem. Force 100 Bull says, it's hot here in Houston. Oh, yeah, Force. I remember getting my summer headaches by the second week of June all the years that I've lived in Houston. Houston is no joke, man. By the time June rolls around, you're talking on average 90 degrees And you're talking on average every morning starting at like 80. Stranger's fruit is the next level of hot as fuck. Exactly. Well, you guys, thank you so much for all showing up here tonight for my little impromptu stream. I'm really proud of that. I'm really like, you guys have no idea uh, what you all mean to me in terms of your viewership and participation when I do these live streams and stuff. This is awesome. So I just want to thank you all for showing up. And let me see. Let me just read these last couple of comments. Umar says, "I wish it was hot. I won't go to Houston because I'm used to New York. Because I'm used to New York racism. Texas racism is on its own planet." Actually, Umar, you know what's funny? I think that all the years that I've lived in Texas, I would much rather deal with up in your face racism rather than the racism up here. Like, but I know where you're coming from. I'll put it this way. Maybe when you're used to a certain kind of racism, you really don't want to flip it. Because I swear to you, I just want to share this real quick story about what Umar is talking about. But on the flip side of all of that, what northern New York racism looks like is when you are a person of color, you're in a store, no matter what you're dressed like, how you're dressed, you will get an older white person coming up to you and saying, "Are you the manager, or do you do the deliveries?" That pisses me off. That actually happened to me like 3 days ago. I'm like in a shirt, tie, and this older woman actually comes up to me in the store. I'm in there to get something to eat. And this older woman comes up to me and goes, "Do you do the deliveries?" I'm like, "No." Anyway, so with that, I'm gonna leave y'all. Thank you so much. This was an awesome stream, and good night. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna cut out now. So peace. And again, I do have an autonomous lounge coming. I've got a lot of friggin' videos coming. I promise you, they're just in different levels of production, but they're all coming out definitely. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Peace.